How's it going, guys? Billy's Blues, last video of the year. Wanted to just do something different this time. You guys know that towards the end of the year, a lot of times physical media slows down and not a lot of things come out. Usually a lot of sales happen, and definitely saw a few changes this year. I see Amazon trying to sell up their Shout Factory and Paramount releases that they're almost begging you to, please buy this, please get rid of it. But I just wanted to go over a few movies that this year altogether that either made an impact on me in a certain type of way, or that I just found very entertaining. Just because there isn't a certain movie on here doesn't mean that I didn't like it, or I guess I'm not trying to downplay anything that isn't on this list. I just couldn't pick every single one that I did like or did enjoy. I just wanted to pick the ones that were the most noteworthy, and ones that some of them are first time watches, a lot of them are, and then some of them I'm just glad to have them on a 4K transfer. But either way, let's start off strong. Coffee Table. Holy moly. I watched this for the first time this year. This movie it's wild. I'm obviously not going to say anything about the storyline or anything like that, but I will tell you that it is a very intense watch, but very little happens. I don't know how to explain it. Once again, I don't want to spoil it or anything, but watching this for the first time, it was out of control. So I actually had a chance to watch this with my son, who also freaked out while we were watching it for the first time. But if you don't get offended, I guess, by anything in movies, or a lot of the mainstream horror movies don't really bother you, then definitely check that one out. Oh, I feel like a lot of people have been speaking about this one together. I know it's backwards. What if I'm gonna get a mirror? That's what I should do. But I had a chance to rent this a couple months back and watch it, and it was really entertaining. And I feel like a lot of people, that other YouTubers that have been doing movie reviews and things like that, they've also been talking about this and how much they enjoyed it. I found it very entertaining. The two, Alison Brie and what's his name? Dave Franco. Oops. It's right here on the cover too. Anyway, there were the two of them being married in real life, but this one was really, really good. And once again, just like good horror movies, and then have an original one and not just constantly remaking ones that have come out before. So that one. Silverado. This one was more of a childhood favorite that came out on the Steelbook 4K, and seeing this one over again in a 4K transfer, I mean, Sony, they did a heck of a job. I think I've give that digital code away, so I don't know, that's the inside of it. But you've got the original cover art on the front. I remember watching this on VHS. It's one of my dad's favorite movies. I think I mentioned that before, but Silverado is awesome, and the quality of it, the 4K transfer, everything about this is great. It's just an all around, entertaining movie. So if you like westerns, or if you're trying to maybe figure out one you haven't seen yet and you haven't seen this one, definitely give this one a go. If you hear a loud bang, it's just my stack of movies falling. So I'd seen this one before, The Killer. This one just got released not too long ago, along with Hard Boiled. I didn't really want to put both of them up here, but in my opinion, both of them to me are equally entertaining. I had The Killer in another copy from across the world, but seeing Shout Studios putting this putting this out. I think Arrow's about to put this out as well. I think that's a little bit silly for somebody like myself to go and buy it. So I don't know. I found this movie to be extremely entertaining as well. I'd seen this before. I'm a big fan of John Woo movies, so just having it in a 4K and watching it over again after not seeing it for so long, it's just a good action movie. It's 2 discs. Yeah, I think that Hard Boiled has like 4 discs to it. And so with this, I've seen Long Kiss Goodnight many, many times, but I know I keep saying it, just having a 4K transfer of this, and Arrow always does an awesome job. I like the artwork that they did. I didn't have a chance to flip this. Usually I flip the cover around and keep the artwork on the front like that, but the original cover art, I mean, but this one was awesome. And I mean, it's an old school 90s action film. I didn't expect to like it as much as I did, but I also remember seeing this. I think it came out when I was in the 7th or 8th grade. So, 14, 15-year-old me is obviously going to love, a movie like this where it's just, a whole bunch of action. Shane Black, he's notorious for writing these kinds of movies, and I feel like the formula is here, just like in a lot of the other ones that he's written. Oh, yeah. Cool. I'll do this one. So this one came out somewhat near my birthday, and actually my daughters had got this one for me. Frailty is just an amazing, amazing film. Not only that, the packaging artwork that they did, that Lionsgate did for this, was amazing. This definitely surprised me. I was a little bit skeptic at first because of getting back into Lionsgate and, with the Lionsgate Limited and how they used to sell them at Best Buy, in the steel books that I guess they used to be around $20, $22. Something like this was a little bit more, and it was my birthday, so my daughters took pity on me, but it came with the script, the shooting script. What else is in here? Here's something rattling around. Oh, nothing. I think it's the digital code going back and forth. Either way, this is a good horror movie. There's nothing really over the top or too crazy about it. Bill Paxton, starred and directed the movie. I thought it was great, very entertaining. I also remember seeing this whenever I was in high school, so it was nice to. I've seen it maybe 2 or 3 times, since the original time that I watched it. So definitely checking this one out, and a transfer was amazing. Oh, no, you don't. Got to keep your head up. Ooh, this one was a surprise. I didn't expect this to come out. Having The Descent in a 4K, this was amazing. And at one point it sold out. I haven't checked to see if it came back in stock, which I heard it was supposed to. And Lionsgate seems like they're pretty good about restocking those, but this is amazing. It just, I want to be careful. It's whoever thought of this design to do the steelbook like that, and then the disc. It just, man, it's really, really cool. It's got all the cast on the front there, and then I think that's the original, the original cover art. But The Descent is probably in my top 5 favorite movies of all time. I mean, horror movies of all time. As far as horror movies go, this is amazing, and the transfer is very, very cool. What else do we got here? Oh, this is another one that I think that is on a lot of people's YouTubers' likes for the year. It's Weapons. Weapons was awesome. I really like this one, and seeing this one in the theater was really, really good too. I'm hoping in 2026 to have more movies like this where it's the original thought and the original concept, things like that, and the writing style, the directing style of this film was really neat, and it's really amazing. All right, I won't talk too long about this one. but Sinners. Sinners was great too. I know the Steelbook, man, I was looking on eBay, and people are selling the Steelbook for a ridiculous amount of price, ridiculous money. You should be okay with the slipcover. And I watched this a couple of times, so the slipcover's still in the plastic. But this was definitely one of my favorites of the year. Once again, horror movie. In my mind, it's an original thought, idea that was taken and just expanded upon and just turned out to be a really awesome movie. So if you haven't seen Sinners, dear Lord, I don't know if that's a good idea. I think those are going to fall. Ooh. Okay, only got a couple more left. This was a first-time watch for me this year. It's Miss 45. There is a podcast or YouTube page, whatever you want to call it, 4K Kings, and I listen to them all the time. I think that those two guys, that they're amazing. And one of them, one of the hosts, for the show, was swearing up and down about watching this and said that you definitely need to give it a try. I'm a big fan of Abel Ferrara too, if I can say his name, and the movies that he's done before. And Arrow, man, they just knocked it out of the park. This release, to me, is definitely one of my favorites. The movie's only 80 minutes long. And of course, with Arrow, it comes with booklets, it comes with a poster. Really, really good movie. I'll only suggest this, once again, if maybe do a little bit of research on it. I don't want to spoil anything. There's content that could be disturbing to some, so if you don't mind disturbing movies, then there you go. I like this too. It's got the black and the white on one side, the red and the white on one side, and it splits down the middle here. This movie's awesome. That's definitely one of my favorites. Okay. This movie was brought up so many times this year. It was almost a joke between my children and myself. That's The Stuff. This movie, we talked about it so many times, and my kids they're a little bit older, so seeing stuff like this, the movie is very cheesy. I get it. So anytime that they were to get in trouble, or if I was to, just be joking around with them, I'd be like, hey, I'm going to make you watch The Stuff again. And they just thought this movie was very, very silly all year long. Whenever, I forget exactly when this came out, what month it came out, but, from that time on, we had a blast with this. And it's, if you don't want to see movies that are disturbing, this is where you go. If you want to see a horror movie, but something that's still campy fun, definitely check this one out. And there's two versions of it. I'd never seen the longer version. It's almost 2 hours long. So, like I said, Arrow just did a phenomenal job. I don't know if I can show this. You guys all know what's behind there. I don't know. Keep it YouTube friendly. Possession. This box set it's out of sight. It's just, I'll put Deer Hunter off to the side. Look at the size of, compared to a chunky Arrow box set, that's unbelievable. Possession was a first time watch for me, and I mean, this movie was intense, and it was so good. I definitely want to check it out again. I'm going to give it about, maybe 3 or 4 months and let it kind of sit with me, and what the heck did I just see? Of course, it comes with the 4K, and then the Blu-ray is Region B, and I think this is this is just the booklet that talks about it. And man, it's It's out of control. Yeah, there's some things I can't really show in here. It's a little explicit, but the book is, man, it's crazy. And then this is the script of the movie that it came with. Second Sight, man, they really did their thing this year. I don't know if you can see up top over here, they got the Florida Project as well, and When Evil Lurks, The Reanimator, It Follows. I've got a couple of other ones that are Second Sight, but generally I just put the ones up there that are ridiculous. And cover up lady parts. Here we go. Does that work? Hopefully that works. Either way, man, at the very least, I'm not saying go out and, you know, rush to get this. I think it's sold out in most places anyway, or you have YouTube people on eBay, I mean, going, you know, trying to sell it for an obscene amount of money. Don't buy into it. I'm not going to swear. Anyway, I cannot recommend that movie enough. If you haven't seen it, it's just a good old horror movie. It's a little bit slow paced, but when it's all over and the movie wraps up and the credits roll, you'll be blown away. I think these last two are probably my favorite for the year. Have the Ninja Turtles 4K. These movies, and like the original Batman, the original Ghostbusters, you know, 1 and 2, those are the reasons why I really started liking movies and, you know, collecting physical media and things like that. I've still got the original Batman on VHS somewhere around here. I used to have Ghostbusters. I don't know where that's at now with how many times I've moved since I was 18, but nonetheless, seeing these over again, you know, the Blu-rays, watching these over again, it just, man, that's probably the real, as far as the release of the year goes, with being a kid and, you know, reliving those type of movies. If you haven't seen Ninja Turtles, shame on you. That's all I'm going to say. And last but certainly not least, this movie got so much hate this year from a lot of people. And every time I heard somebody talk bad about it, I rolled my eyes. Let's bring her back. I wonder if since it's backwards, maybe we'll be able to read it. But it's Bring Her Back. And of course I had to get the 4K. There it is, the 4K edition of this movie. A24 always does great work. This movie looks phenomenal. It's got HDR on it as well. This movie was just, yeah, it's a horror movie. Yeah, there's crazy stuff that happens in the movie, but I think ultimately the movie is about grief and about sadness and about how people, how they deal with it. Is it over the top? Yeah, very much. But man, a lot of the other movies that I showed you, yes, they do have disturbing content, things like that. This has one of the most vicious scenes I've ever watched in a horror movie. Even thinking about it, it's gnarly. But definitely check this one out if you haven't seen it. If you have seen it, I'd be interested to know, you know, what your thoughts on it are on it as well. But for me, this is probably one of my favorite movies that I saw this year, as far as, you know, new and original, you know, things like that. But this, man, these directors, they really did it. And I don't know, I know they did the Talk to Me movie. I think they're coming out with part 2 sometime soon, so I don't know. This one definitely takes the cake. But you know, there's a couple other movies that I did see here and there. I didn't want to keep, you know, the video going too long. Yeah, probably just settle with those. I mean, like I said, there are other movies that came out this year that did get released that I did really like. And I think that Arrow and Second Sight, as far as companies and how they distribute their movies, they really did a good job in my opinion. But we made it to a new year. I appreciate you guys, watching the video and supporting the channel like you do. But I hope you guys have a safe night tonight. Excuse me, and I'll try and do as many videos as I can when items come to my attention. Take it easy, guys.